Happy birthday to everyone that is in May. We have a lot of people, a lot of family members that are May babies. Um, I'll try to go in order. Uh, there is my son. Actually, that's not in order. But anyways, there's my son. There's Desiree. There's my mother, and Desiree is my sister. Um, there's my mother. There's my father and my grandfather. I think, am I leaving anyone out? Well, anyways, so happy birthday for all those that are in May. I wanted to tell the story of my giving the whole situation on my son. My son just turned 18, and I love you, Calvin. And I thought it would be interesting to share my insight on how it all played out. So, for all those that didn't know, I was about 17 or 18 while I was pregnant with my son. We were living in the SAM shelter in San Antonio, Texas. I think that's down East Commerce Street. I'm not sure if that, I think that it's down East Commerce Street. And um, well, long story short, let's just get to it. So Joseph, Mr. Knight, he came back and he had hickeys on his neck, and I wanted to talk to him because like he wasn't like there with me like all the time. He was like, he was doing him, like, doing his thing. Uh, so he came back with hickeys, and I told him, I was trying to, get an explanation on the situation, and um well, anyways, he got upset for me asking too many questions, and so there was a commotion going on, and so they asked him to leave, and I really needed him to stay. Like, I don't know, something within me was just like, I really would like for you to stay, but he left, and um I decided to call whoever I could to see if they could take me um, back to the country where my siblings and the property that we have in the country. And so they Mrs. Jackson and Mr. Jackson came and got me and took me to the country. Uh, so I stayed the night with my sister, and in the middle of the night, my sister woke me up, and she said, you just peed." Like, you just peed in the bed. And I was like half asleep, so I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And when she cut the light on, there was like, you know blood and liquid everywhere, just everywhere. So I had her and my brother, they had to walk down this like long lane, right? We lived down like this long lane, and which I love. I love the forest look and everything. So anyways, they had to walk down this long lane all the way to the store, back when there was payphones, right? Thank goodness for payphones. Um, and so they called the ambulance, and the ambulance came and got me. They told me that they had to do an emergency C-section. I was in and out, so I was like in and out. I didn't really know what was going on, and um, to my knowledge, they said it was because like he was my son was in distress. I think they said like the cord was around his neck. I'm not, like I said, I was in and out. So that's what I got out of it. So they had to do an emergency C-section. And so then I had him. And after that, I called Joseph, which is Mr. Knight, aka Mr. Knight. And I asked him if he would. Well, actually, I was trying to find him, so of course I'm calling his mother, um, and everything else, and then I called, of course, his ex-wife, and uh, basically I was like, I know he's there. Just tell him, that I just had his son, you know, and if he want to come, like I would like for him to come to the hospital and you know, see his son. And so after that, his he came to the hospital. Um, After a while, I don't know how long it took, but he came to the hospital, and all that. And then when I oh here's another key part. My sister is so amazing, so amazing. So when I went to the hospital, I had already had um, a baby. So Rhapsody, which she's my oldest, um, she was still in diapers and everything. And my sister, she's just so amazing. She ran out of diapers. She had no like milk or food for Rhapsody. And I don't know how she did it, but she did it. Let me tell you something. My sister is not like she loves babies and everything, but she is not, how would I say it? She's not she's just like, she doesn't have children, so she doesn't like, so for her to make a way, like like literally she fucking she held on strong, like I can only imagine how stressful that was for her, because
I hope I made it hard for you.
so anyways, so yes, so Crystal made it through. I love you, Crystal. Thank you so much. Crystal made it through with no diapers, no milk. Um, she found someone that could bring it to her, and so thank you all. I want to say it might have been the Jacksons again. Thank you, Mrs. and Mr. Jackson. Um, so she like the time, like I think they kept me for about at least 3 to 4 days in the hospital. I'm not sure, but I know they keep you for about a week. So, um, Crystal, she did it. She held in. God was like guiding her, because she doesn't like putting up with crying and all that other stuff. But Crystal did it for me,
Yeah.
and I really do thank you, Crystal. And so after Joseph came to the hospital, and I was released. When I was released, Joseph had taken me back to the country. And from the country, he stayed one night. This is how I remember it. He stayed one night and then he left. And you can only imagine, like, because I was really young and have 2 children now, right? Like, I have my daughter wasn't even, I don't know if she was a year yet, but she wasn't even a year yet. And then I have my son, and he left. I was like so confused, like my like I was just wanting him to stay, and make this work, make this work, and of course, like I don't know, like he giving him the out that he needed, like like you don't like when I first had my first child, I was like, I have her, you can go, you don't have to stay, right? Like, here's your outing, like I'm not holding you here, you do not have to stay, like you're free, right? Go, you can go do you. And then after having my second child, I was more like, okay, now we have two children, you know, you know, are we going to make it work or are we not? I need to know so I can prepare myself, right? So I can prepare myself on what's down the line. And though he was back and forth, for a moment, I know you're not gonna like this video, Joseph, but this is the how I saw things and how I felt through the process of our journey. And so, uh, you know, his ex-wife was, trying to get him to come back there. But of course, he had to make a decision. He had to make a decision on if he was going to stay with his ex-wife or if he was going to make things work and stay with me. And so his decision, even though she kept pulling him back and forth, his decision was to stay with me. And I'm grateful that we have 19 years married, 20 years that we've actually been together. And I'm grateful for the time and the experience and the journey that we've had together. And I just thought to share this because this is May 18 years ago. This is May 18 years ago. This is what happened 18 years ago. And everyone has a story to tell. Everyone has a story to tell. And of course, it's not easy when you don't really you have children. It's not easy, but you can get through it. Key point, you can get through it. I'm proof of that. I'm here, and everything is beautiful. Even though people go through things, it's still a beautiful journey that you can still learn from and experience things. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all that has happened, and it has taught me a lot throughout my journey. And it also showed me that I can get through anything, right? That's the key point, right? This whole video is about I can get through anything, and that, well, we all can get through anything. We can all get through anything. From being kicked out, my mother chose her boyfriend, and I know she probably wouldn't like me saying this, but anyways, it doesn't matter. This is what happened. So, right, so her boyfriend was like, it's either your daughter or me. And so she told me and my infant and of course Joseph that I had to leave. And so we went to the SAM shelter. We stayed at the SAM shelter for about 3 months, and then I had my son. I would have had my son in the SAM shelter if it wasn't for Mr. and Mrs. Jackson taking me to the country to my siblings, which is out there. It's still by San Antonio, but it's like out there going towards like Lavernia, Texas. So, of course, the city is moving that away now. So it's not the country how, we used to know it. You could hear like a car from miles away coming, like there was no noise pollution, no light pollution in those days. And it's very beautiful and serene out there. I love it. When you're going down the lane and the trees have blossomed and there's weeds and everything. It's like you're walking. There's like a lane and the forest is like all around you. It's so beautiful, and the flowers everywhere. Very beautiful property that my grandparents had bought back in the days. So, and it's still out there too. My sister and them. My siblings are still out there. Of course, we decided to move because, sometimes you need to move, especially uh, when things aren't as good as they should be. It's a decision that you have to make. Like, should I stay? And if I stay, you know the kind of problems and situation that you're going to continue to you know, be in around certain people. And so you decide to move. So we decided to move. Um, you know we want better for ourselves, and so sometimes you have to get yourself out of a bad situation, and uh, so that way you can grow. You know, you have to be able to grow. And yes, I hope that you like this video. It's a piece of me that we don't really talk about. Um, when I was in bed thinking about it, and I was like, maybe I should tell the story of my son's birth. You know, since it's May, right? And he just turned 18. And so that's my story, guys. That's part of my story. Part of many stories that I wouldn't consider it a story. I don't know. That's a part of my journey that I have experienced and went through. So I love you all. I hope you all have an amazing and wonderful day. Happy birthday to all the May babies. Love you all.